Most cruise passengers make a costly mistake on their final morning, and they don't realize it until they're already at the airport. They set an early alarm, dragged their luggage to a crowded muster area, and stood in a line that barely moved. Exhausted, sometimes overcharged, and occasionally missing money they will never get back. The smartest cruisers do the opposite, and it saves them real money every time. There is a completely different disembarkation strategy that protects your account, eliminates last-minute financial surprises, and makes your final morning feel like an extension of the vacation rather than the worst part of it. Today, we are counting down the exact strategies smart cruisers use, strategies most passengers never hear about until it is too late. Number 1 could save you from a financial mistake most people only discover when they check their credit card statement at home. And by then, the ship has already sailed. New here, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Which cruise line are you sailing next? Let's get into it. Tip number 7. Stop skipping the night before account review. Here is where most cruisers make their first mistake. And it is an expensive one. Your onboard account, every drink, excursion, spa service, and specialty dining charge is available to review on your stateroom TV or through the Cruise Lines app. Most passengers glance at it once. Many never check it at all. Here is where it gets expensive. Billing errors on cruise ships happen more often than passengers realize. Duplicate charges, gratuities added to items that already include them, charges from the wrong cabin number. These are not rare exceptions. They are a pattern we see consistently, especially on longer sailings. The consequence of missing this is real. Catch an error the morning you are leaving, and you are standing in a long guest services line with a suitcase at your feet and a flight to catch. Catch it the night before, and you have time, patience, and leverage. That difference is worth 20 minutes of your evening. The quick rule: review your full account statement no later than the evening before disembarkation. Not the morning of, the evening before. Here is exactly what to do. Pull up your folio on the stateroom TV under the account or billing section. Scroll through every line item. Anything unfamiliar, a charge you don't recognize, a fee that looks duplicated, a service you didn't request, call guest services that night or visit the desk right after dinner when lines are short. Take a photo of your statement before you close it. That photo is your baseline for everything that follows. A cruiser on a 7-night Caribbean sailing caught a duplicate specialty dining charge of $84 the night before disembarkation, resolved in 10 minutes with 0 wait time. The payoff? Catching errors the night before is almost always fixable. Catching them the morning you leave is stressful at best and sometimes impossible. Here is what most passengers don't know. The next tip is directly connected to what happens when your final bill is posted, and it is a window most people miss entirely. Tip number 6. Request your final statement early, not at checkout. Here is where it gets interesting, and where most passengers lose their last chance to catch a problem. Your printed final bill arrives under the cabin door between 2 and 4 in the morning on disembarkation day. Most people pick it up half asleep, stuff it in their bag, and never read it before they walk off the ship. By that point, the window to dispute anything on board has effectively closed. This is where most people mess up. Smart cruisers know you can request a printed copy of your complete folio from guest services the evening before disembarkation. You do not have to wait for the ship to slide it under your door at 3 in the morning. The quick rule: ask guest services for your folio printout the evening before your last day. Cross-reference it with the photo from Tip 7. Flag any discrepancy immediately. Here is why this matters more than most people realize. Some charges, bar tabs delayed in processing, spa services not closed out until late evening, gratuity adjustments may not appear until close to midnight. Having an early copy gives you a baseline. Your final slip gives you the comparison. 2 documents, 30 seconds of review, and you walk off that ship knowing exactly what you paid and why. The payoff: no surprises on your credit card, no phone calls to customer service from home, clean exit. The next strategy is one most cruisers have heard of, but almost nobody uses correctly. And the mistake they make turns a smooth departure into a chaotic one. Tip number 5. Use self-assist disembarkation the right way. Most cruise lines offer self-assist disembarkation. You carry your own luggage off the ship and disembark among the very first passengers. For the right traveler, this is genuinely excellent. But here's where most people mess up. They assume self-assist means leave whenever you want. It does not. Miss your window or arrive too early and you create a bottleneck that backs up the entire gangway. The quick rule: if you are using self-assist, be completely packed, dressed, fed, and staged near the disembarkation area before your group is called. Not while it is being called, before. The exact steps: the evening prior, confirm your self-assist group time with guest services or on the daily program. Set your alarm with 30 minutes of buffer. Eat in your cabin or grab something quick from an open venue, not the main dining room, which fills up fast on disembarkation morning. Have your passport, cruise card, and customs forms in hand before you queue. A couple sailing Alaska used self-assist with a pre-arranged private transfer and were in their rental car headed toward Denali while other passengers were still waiting in the theater for their group number to be called. The payoff: when used correctly, self-assist is the closest thing to walking straight off a cruise ship with zero friction. But what about passengers with afternoon flights who have no reason to rush? That is exactly what the next tip covers, and it is one of the best-kept strategies on any ship. If you have ever stepped off a cruise ship and later spotted a charge on your credit card you didn't recognize, or realized you left onboard credit behind you never spent, those are exactly the patterns we walk through inside Cruise Navigator Pro. The Disembarkation Protection Checklist in the Cruise Toolkit Vault was built specifically to prevent those moments. Most members tell us the same thing. They wish they had found this before their last cruise, not after it. Because by the time most people notice, the ship has already sailed. Link is in the description. Tip number 4, the later you leave, the better the experience. Here is the core philosophy behind this entire video, and it took most experienced cruisers several sailings to figure out. The later you disembark within the ship's window, the better almost everything becomes. Lines are shorter, the gangway is quieter, the luggage retrieval area has calmed down, the rideshare situation outside the port has settled, and you had time for a real breakfast, a final walk on deck, and a proper goodbye to the ship. Here is where it gets important. Most passengers assume their departure time is fixed. It is not. The quick rule: if your flight home is not until the afternoon or evening, request the latest disembarkation group available when completing your disembarkation preferences form. On most major lines, including Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, and Celebrity, you select your group time on a form distributed 2 to 3 days before the end of the cruise. Actively choose the latest available slot rather than accepting the default. If you hold loyalty status, check whether your tier includes complimentary extended departure access. Several lines offer this quietly and do not advertise it. The payoff: choosing the right departure window is not just about comfort. It is about being unhurried and in control on the final day of a vacation you worked hard to take. And what you do with that extra time is where the next tip comes in. And most passengers waste it entirely. Tip number 3. What smart cruisers do with their final morning. If you have selected a later departure, you now have a window most passengers don't realize is available. The question is how you use it. Most people spend it sitting in a crowded lounge with their bags. Smart cruisers treat it as the most relaxed part of the entire trip. Here is what is actually available to you that most passengers ignore. Many ships keep the buffet open until 9:30 or 10 for late departing guests. Specialty coffee venues often stay open. The outdoor deck is almost completely empty. The gym is quiet. And your stateroom, depending on your departure group, may be available for an additional hour or two. This is where most people mess up. They assume they have to vacate everything early and end up sitting in a holding area for 2 hours with nowhere to go. The quick rule: plan your final morning as a separate quiet bonus. Ask your stateroom attendant the evening before what time your cabin needs to be vacated and plan around that information. Here is something specific most cruisers never know. On some ships, high-tier loyalty members can access priority disembarkation lounges with coffee, refreshments, and comfortable seating, separate from the general waiting area. This is rarely announced at the start of the cruise. You have to ask for it. A solo traveler on a Princess Cruises voyage spent her final 2 hours with a coffee on an empty aft deck while the disembarkation rush cleared completely below her, then walked off in under 4 minutes. The payoff? Your final morning is either something that happens to you or something you design. The difference is almost always just asking the right questions the night before. What comes next is where the real money is on disembarkation day, and most passengers leave it sitting on the table entirely. We are halfway through this countdown, and I want to be direct with you about what is coming next. The tips we just covered will make your final morning smoother and more comfortable. What I am about to share in the next 2 tips is where the actual money is. These are the mistakes that cost cruisers real dollars, not inconvenience, not frustration, real money that disappears the moment you step off that gangway. Even experienced cruisers who have been sailing for years are still making these mistakes. If you have ever walked off a ship with a nagging feeling that something was off, what we are about to cover is almost certainly why. Do not skip ahead. Tip number 2. Never leave unspent onboard credit behind. This one costs cruisers real money, and it happens more consistently than most people would believe. Onboard credit has rules attached to it that most passengers never fully read. And the most important rule is this: most promotional onboard credit is non-refundable. When the ship docks on disembarkation morning, whatever promotional OBC you have not spent disappears. It does not follow you home. It does not convert to cash. It simply ceases to exist. Here is where it gets expensive. The pattern we see consistently: a cruiser has $80 or $100 in OBC, spends $60 on drinks early in the week, assumes the rest will be there later, and walks off the ship having left $40 behind. Multiply that across a couple, add a booking promotion and a travel agent perk, and the number gets meaningful fast. The quick rule: know your exact OBC balance on day 1, track it throughout the cruise, and make a concrete plan for any remainder no later than the evening before disembarkation. Here is exactly how to use it before it expires. Visit the gift shop and apply remaining credit to things you would actually use: specialty coffee, a ship logo item, sunscreen, snacks for the journey home. On some lines, you can apply OBC toward prepaid gratuities or a future cruise deposit. Call guest services the night before and ask specifically, "What can my remaining onboard credit be applied to?" They will tell you exactly. Here is something most passengers do not realize. Some cruise lines split OBC into refundable and non-refundable categories simultaneously. Refundable credit comes back to you as a check or card adjustment. Non-refundable disappears. Both can sit in your account at the same time. If you do not know which is which, you may think you are protected when you are not. Ask guest services to confirm your OBC breakdown before your final evening. The payoff: every dollar of onboard credit you negotiated as part of your booking only pays off if you actually spend it. Do not let a promotion you earned become a gift to the cruise line. And now, we are at number 1. And this final tip connects everything we have covered today. It is the single most financially important thing in this entire video. If you have stayed with me this far, number 1 is going to be worth it. What we are about to cover is the most common and most expensive disembarkation mistake I see. And unlike everything else in this video, this one does not just affect your final morning. It can follow you home for weeks. Pay close attention. Tip number 1. Review, dispute, and confirm before you walk off. Here is the hard truth most passengers only learn after it has already happened to them. Once you disembark, your ability to dispute charges shifts dramatically. The guest services desk available around the clock is gone. You are now dealing with a phone or email customer service department. Hold times, documentation requirements, no guaranteed resolution. What took 10 minutes to fix onboard can take weeks from home. Sometimes it never gets resolved at all. Think of this as protecting your cruise investment. Every extra minute onboard is a minute of financial leverage you still hold. Post-cruise charges, minibar items, pending spa charges, shore excursion balances can appear on your credit card days after you are home. Without a clean folio reviewed before disembarkation, you have nothing solid to dispute from. A retired couple on a 7-night Caribbean cruise caught 3 separate billing discrepancies totaling $112 by reviewing their folio the night before. All 3 corrected before they left the ship. Without that review, all 3 would have hit their credit cards silently and been nearly impossible to prove afterward. The quick rule: before you step off that gangway, your account must be reviewed, any disputes resolved or formally noted, and your final folio saved in 2 formats: a printed copy and a photo on your phone. The evening before, complete your full account review and request your early folio printout. The morning of disembarkation, check your TV or app one final time after midnight for any overnight charges. Anything unfamiliar, stop at guest services before you leave, not after. If there is a line and your dispute is time-sensitive, ask for a supervisor and use this exact framing: "I have a charge I don't recognize, and I am scheduled to disembark within the next hour. Can you help me resolve this before I leave so I don't need to handle it remotely? Calm, specific, time-aware. Guest services supervisors have the authority to move quickly when the clock is ticking. Most disembarkation mistakes are not dramatic. They are small, quiet erosions. $40 here, an expired OBC balance there, a duplicate charge nobody flagged. Individually, none feel worth fighting over. Collectively, they represent real money, and every single one is preventable if you know what to look for before you walk off. The payoff: the passengers who leave last are not just more relaxed, they are more protected. Clean account, zero surprises waiting at home. That is the real reason smart cruisers always leave last. Cruise Navigator Pro is a structured planning community for cruisers who want more than scattered tips. Inside, contract breakdowns, insurance strategy in real terms, a full fee prevention module, and live Q&A with 24-hour responses. The most expensive mistakes members avoided were not from lack of effort. They just did not have a structured system when the decisions were being made. Watching videos helps. Having a framework that protects you from booking to the gangway is a different level entirely. Most members join after making one of these mistakes. The goal is to make sure that never happens to you. No long-term commitment. Month to month. Cancel anytime. Link is in the description. If you want protection from the very beginning of your cruise, not just the end, the next video is this one. 15 cruise mistakes you must avoid on your first cruise. Everything we covered today starts with decisions made weeks before you board. It is queued up right now. I will see you there.